Every single day, these stupid ass people run their stupid motorcycles up and down the street. And I don't like to wish bad things on people, but I'm wishing bad things upon them so that they stop doing that. Cuz oh my gosh, there's not a
People don't
single
know.
there's not a single evening that I've been here that I've like relaxed because of that motorcycle going up and down. And I know that they know that they're annoying people. They have to know that, right?
You would think, but annoying people don't realize they're annoying.
Yeah. I mean, is that why Damon's so annoying?
I think so. There's a conversation we have to have at the very end of this episode that I think is going to be hilarious.
Okay. I'm excited.
The fun thing is, though, that people don't know your greatest enemy is your motorcycle neighbors. Because that has not made it into any episode thus far. But I feel like maybe now we're getting to the point where, like, people have to know your mortal enemy is the person who rides a motorcycle up and down your street at, like, about 7 p.m. every night.
Mhm. Yeah. They get on my last nerves. And like I really want to go out there and be like, shut up. But also, I'm feared for my life. I do live in New York City. And people are fearless here. They will do shit to you for the
People are
smallest
fucking
things.
fearless. Hey, hi, hello everyone, and welcome to Afterbite. It's a Vampire Diaries fancast. It's only 10 years too late. Hi. We're here. We're back.
Here.
It's episode 320 of the Vampire Diaries. Do not go gentle.
I don't like the title.
Really? I really like the title.
Yeah, it's kind of weird phrasing for me.
Do not go gentle into the night. Come on.
Oh, is that like a reference?
Yeah, do not go gentle into that good night. There we go.
Oh, I've never heard of that reference. I might have enjoyed it more if I knew that reference. I just think the phrasing is kind of weird. But like if it's a part of some sort of literature or poem.
Yeah, it's a poem basically that is all a metaphor for death, and
Oh.
the poet is like talking about his father's like acceptance of death or something like that.
Okay, then I like it more. That cuz the phrasing feels like very like the I guess the cadence is off for me.
Yeah, but it's like half a quote, so it's a little
Yeah.
weird, yeah.
Yeah, but like it works. It works now.
Do you want to hear the Netflix description for this episode?
Yeah.
The 1920s decade dance takes a deadly turn when Damon and Stefan realize they need Matt, Jeremy, and Bonnie's help to undo a devastating spell.
That's such a fun trio.
Matt, Jeremy, and Bonnie?
Yeah, it would be nice if that was like the actual trio for the episode.
I was gonna say, it would be nice if, I mean, like, I like Matt and Jeremy as like a little duo there.
Yeah, but I think all three of them together, that would have been fun to watch.
But also you have to realize it'd be a little awkward because Jeremy and Bonnie are exes.
Right. Yeah. If they weren't exes, I think it could be a fun dynamic, you know?
Yeah.
Because like let's say it's like pre Jeremy and Bonnie being a thing, then Bonnie has the right to treat Jeremy like a little brother. You know? I feel like that dynamic is definitely better for like that type of trio situation.
Also, Matt really treats Jeremy like a little brother this episode,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah.
That's nice.
So, we begin this episode in Michelson Manor, where Klaus is finishing up a painting, and Rebekah, or technically it is Rebekah in Esther in Rebekah's body, returns with the final white oak stake for them to burn. And Klaus tosses it in the fire without a second glance.
Not thinking.
Rebekah convinces him to stay in town for just one more night so they can go to the decade dance. I love that Klaus immediately gives in to Rebekah.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to go to the dance. And she's like, please? He's like,
okay.
I'll go to the fucking dance. God damn it. Yeah, exactly. It's like, God fucking damn it.
I love when I don't know. I love when like women use their like feminine wiles to get men to do what they want to do.
Except this one is really just like,
Just like a little sister moment.
this one's just Klaus being like, fine, I guess I'll go to the fucking dance. God.
Yeah, I
No
love when
problem.
I love the type of dynamics between it's like a little brother little sister dynamic where you're like, I don't actually want to do this thing, but because you are my baby sister, you know,
I
I
will
must.
go to the stupid fucking
Yeah,
dance for you.
like I love that. That's like such a nice tiny little thing to put in there. That's shows that they're siblings. I mean, at least I think so. I don't know. Again, no
Yeah,
siblings.
no, you're correct. Also, here we see Klaus painting again. They're gonna make this a thing with a capital T. It's definitely gonna be a thing. At the Salvatore house, Damon gets a call from Alaric, and Alaric tells him that he's lost the stake, that he's gonna go out of town for a few days to get his head back into shape. Damon doesn't think it's a great idea, which, yeah, congrats. I'm glad you're caught up with the rest of us now. But Alaric's like, nah, it'll be fine. I got all those herbs. It's fine. I'll be fine.
Which like his plan, like I mean, I'm glad that Damon eventually does question his plan because the plan doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't.
Like,
Hi, I'm an adult serial killer who needs supervision. I'm gonna go into the woods for a while just to chill.
but also, like, I'm like a serial killer, but I'm quote unquote not that person anymore right now. So in order to fix that, I'm gonna get out of town. But like, if I magically turn into that person again, I could always just come back to town.
Yeah, I can always just come back and be like, I forgot my phone charger. That's why I'm here. Stab, stab.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very flimsy plan, but it wouldn't be a TVD plan if it wasn't flimsy.
Right.
As Alaric hangs up on the phone with Damon, Esther, in Rebekah's body again, approaches him saying that his skills in in betrayal are pretty good right now, which means, dun dun dun, he's been evil Alaric this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, shocking.
Didn't see that coming.
Whoa, surprise. Wow, we really just decided to fucking roast him, huh?
Sometimes things are too obvious, and it's like, yeah, I get that.
Of
That's what's
course he's
going
the bad
on.
guy.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand this. Alaric has to dagger Rebekah in order to return Esther to her original body.
Which,
So,
how does that work?
yeah, right? Like, why did you hop into Rebekah's body in the first place?
Yeah,
Did
like,
you need to, like, recharge?
is it? Here's was my theory was that she couldn't power her own body on her own, right? So then she had to go into another living life force, and then in order to get back into her body, she had to kill that so that their life force is now gone and has been transferred 100% over to her body. That's
Yeah,
my thing.
I think they mention it a little bit later of, like, channeling.
Mm-hmm.
Where like she's channeling Rebekah's energy now, probably. I don't know. I feel like I don't know why she hopped into Rebekah's body for like 15 minutes of
Yeah.
on-screen time.
Yeah.
Like literally, like what was Claire Holt doing that they had to kill her for like in 20 minutes here? Like what was she doing?
Yeah, they could have kept on to it a little bit longer. It would have been nice to
Because
see
in
more
case
of
you
that.
forgot, we just learned that she was Esther like at the end of last episode.
Yeah. And they're like, actually, no, let's turn it back real quick.
Take it back now, y'all. 3 hops this time.
Also, Rebekah dying before another dance.
Let her have one thing.
Please.
Let her have one dance. God damn it.
I can't believe you guys did this again. Well, I'm not surprised because you guys like to repeat storylines. So I'm not surprised, but still.
I'm still just like sad for her.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, you really had to do her dirty with this storyline again. Murder her right in front of another dance. Like, come on, y'all. Y'all.
Also, all of her deaths, quote unquote deaths, have been like near dances. Like the first time was after they had like gone partying out like at a club. And then
I
next
think
time,
Rebekah just has a bad track record with dances, huh?
yeah.
Because now that you mention it, you're right.
Yeah.
Girl, if she hears like party music, if she hears the cha-cha slide, she better fucking run. She better just run. Opposite direction.
Get out of there, please,
Get
for your
out of there, honey.
safety. I'm just imagining that.
Whenever you hear somebody yell crisscross, you better get the fuck out of there, dude. You gotta go.
Also, the amount the it amazes me at none of these dances they've never played that song, the Cha-Cha Slide. How?
I bet getting the licensing for that's probably a pain in the ass, right?
I guess. I'm just thinking like in practical terms, that's just a staple of any dance that I've ever been to.
They probably play it while we're not there because we see approximately
like
2
5
songs of every dance.
Yeah. Just
and
like
then
a couple
shit
seconds.
goes bad.
Yeah. Also, I love how the what's it called? The like what a part of the template for the Vampire Diaries is like dance something bad. Like dance something bad's going to happen.
Yeah.
Always associate a dance with something bad happening.
Oh yeah. Rebekah's not the only one who should run when she hears the cha-cha slide.
Everyone in Mystic Falls should run when they hear the cha-cha slide.
That's when you know shit's really going down. That's like the final stage of a boss fight when the boss has like been powering up for the first 2 stages. That is its last. That's the cursed 3rd stage, the cha-cha slide. Elena and Caroline are setting up for the dance. Elena's worrying about Jeremy, but he is helping Matt as they're setting up some stars and having a little bro moment.
Mm-hmm.
Caroline wonders who Elena is bringing to the dance. And she's like, well, you should bring Stefan. He's your epic love. I'm not going to let you give up on him.
And like, Caroline, you're right.
Caroline, you're right, but also just how right you are will become so fucking ironic in 3, 4 seasons.
Oh.
It'll become incredibly ironic that she's like, Stefan is your epic love, Elena.
Oh. Wonder what's that about.
But you have to admit, Stefan and Elena are so fucking cute.
There's this episode. This episode. Oh my gosh. There are scenes this episode. I was out here wishing I was in love, you know?
So Elena calls Stefan, and they are so awkward.
Mm-hmm.
They are so awkward.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love you both so goddamn much. You are both so fucking awkward. I adore you to death. And she's like, I know things might be weird with you, but I'm going to the dance, and I would really like if you went with me. I'm like, aw, my heart.
They're like, it's like if they have never broken up, this would be like the scene of like, like of them trying to like act each other out, but like nervously. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what the scene was.
They're just so fucking cute. Of course, Damon overhears and teases Stefan. Have we noticed Damon's hair looks real bad this episode?
I kid you not. I wasn't even paying attention to Damon. I was blanking him out of the episode.
His hair just looked really bad this episode. And who did him dirty? Who did him dirty? Who on the makeup team was like, fuck Ian?
Honestly, sometimes they really do say fuck Ian, because sometimes he looks really weird. And I'm just like, what's up? What's going on? I don't know what's wrong with your makeup.
I don't know just like what's going on with your whole deal.
Yeah. And I still don't get, I'm sorry, I still don't get how people find Ian attractive. Because I do not.
I don't either.
I don't get it.
But I stopped questioning it a while ago. Straight people will like anything.
I guess. They're like standards. No, I'm not going to say that.
There are standards. End of sentence. That is it. End of sentence. End of conversation. Standards.
Ugh,
Wow.
I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean, but also I have to speak my truth, you know?
And the truth says standards, and y'all don't fucking have them if you think Damon's that hot. But okay, whatever you say.
Okay, I guess you guys see
Okay.
something I don't, and that's just my problem.
That's just a me problem, and that's okay. Damon approaches, guess who?
Who
Meredith at the Mystic Falls Hospital.
When I saw Meredith, I was like, "Is this her death episode now?"
Is this when she's gonna die? We know it's coming, right? It's
Yeah,
just a matter of time.
yeah. I thought this episode was Meredith's death episode, and then I got a twist, a little twist.
A little twist that hurt real bad.
Yeah, hurts so bad.
Damon reveals to Meredith at the hospital that Alaric has not been taking his herbs. Oopsie. Could never have imagined that would happen to an adult serial killer. Oh darn.
Not that
Like,
the one he was taking them wasn't really working, anyways.
they were when he had somebody.
Like force feeding it to him, right?
Yeah, exactly. There was a moment where like Caroline was on babysitting duty and like making sure he took his herbs.
Why is no one doing that? Oh, like
We
why
talked
do
about
we?
this. He's going out of town. He's having a guys' weekend with just himself and his alter ego. They're gonna get a sauna. It's gonna be great.
Alaric, but then also an evil version of Alaric getting pedicures.
They're just doing face masks.
Yeah, they're having a great time.
I love that that's what you think of when you're like, guys' weekend. They get pedicures.
That's not what I usually think of, but because you said sauna, that's where my head went.
That's fair. Esther and Eva Alaric are now in the cemetery because where else would you do spooky blood magic?
That's the perfect place to do it.
Esther uses Alaric's ring and a stake and some like ashes or what the fuck ever to make an indestructible stake.
The stake looked like an art piece that I would have in my home.
It looks so fucking cool.
I want it so badly.
It is the ultimate weapon for the ultimate hunter.
I love that.
Which is such a good fucking line because you're like, oh, shit. Like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. As soon as somebody is referred to as the ultimate hunter, you're like, oh, fuck. Shit's about to go down, though.
It's about to get real scary real quick.
So we head to the Gilbert house where Elena is dressed as the cutest flapper. Like, girl, this is one of her best looks.
Yeah, I agree. Wholeheartedly.
Stefan looks cute too, I guess.
Them on this little date, I love
the eye contact is so just so yeah.
It makes my
just
heart
so filled with emotions.
My heart was melting throughout the Stelena scenes this episode. I just want to be in love so bad, you know?
I think it's hilarious that Brian was homophobic enough to leave us alone for the Delena episode. But he also hate crimed himself by not being on this episode.
Because it really is a shame Brian isn't here.
Yeah, like he would be losing his shit right now over these two.
Yeah.
As is his right to do so.
Yeah, I agree.
You played yourself, Brian. I know you actually listen to these episodes now, so you played yourself. I'm talking to you specifically.
It really is a shame because they have really good scenes this episode.
And I don't know if we can do these moments the justice they deserve.
Yeah. Like
it's just all about the moments.
All I can really say is I was in love with them, you know?
I'm in love with the concept of them.
Yeah.
I just think they're cute. And they have such wild chemistry when they're not even saying anything.
So good. What the fuck?
Now is when things start to get wild.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because it's the roaring 20s, baby. We have a throwback to very early on in the season where we got the roaring 20s again, baby.
I was like thinking It would have been cool if they did any parallels this episode. They didn't. I don't think so, right?
I'm glad they didn't.
Oh, you are?
You do remember what the majority of that episode was, right?
Yeah. But
they did some. I mean, it's the 20s.
yeah.
It's the 20s.
Yeah.
It's a fun time.
But I do think it's like a cool way to kind of end out the season.
Yeah.
A nice little circle thing back.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so you kind of remember where we started this whole thing and where we started, how we got here. That was
Remember
nice.
how rough the first part of the season was?
So hard.
The birthday, the hybrid, like, God.
Oh my God. It was so
the
hard.
end of the affair. Chill the fuck out, dude. Chill the fuck out. So, Caroline and Matt have a little heart-to-heart. They're friends again.
That's nice.
Guess who crashes this dance?
Who?
Tyler.
Oh.
He's back, and he looks every part. He actually looks the most 20s out of any of the guys.
He looks really nice, which like makes me upset because he's such a jealous monster this episode.
Yeah.
So like I can't even really like appreciate how nice he looks because I'm just like, stop being a stupid idiot. Like throw this entire. I hate jealousy plot lines when they're not done well. Like when they're not justified.
I don't mind this plot line. There are some points at it, then I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah,
Like
I don't mind this overall.
I get why it's happening, you know,
because
Tyler like has this kind of like power imbalance with Klaus. With Klaus. He has this power imbalance with Klaus. So like I get it, you know. If like, but the power imbalance, just like the way that they talk about it later in the episode, I'm just like, ew.
Yeah. What, you don't like Klaus staring Tyler in the face and going, I am the alpha male?
Yeah, I don't like that. Actually, I don't like that. Actually, that made me so uncomfortable.
It's so funny too because Klaus is not an alpha.
No.
Later in the season, later in the series, he is proven time and time again to not be the alpha wolf. And I think that is fucking hilarious. Congratulations, Klaus. You've exercised your dominion over a bunch of teenagers. You're gonna get your shit kicked when you meet somebody your age and or like in their mid-30s. You're gonna get your ass kicked.
But like, so I think with Tyler, like I get it, but also it's just such a nasty like little trait of his when it's like I get it, that type of storyline, if someone's kind of like insecure or maybe the person that they're with is kind of like untrustworthy for some reason. But when it's clear as day that Caroline loves you and
she says so a whole bunch.
Yeah, it's annoying. And stop it. Stop doing it. There's no reason to continue doing it. And that's why I say that I hate that type of storyline, because like at a certain point it's like you have no reason to be jealous. Like, why are you jealous?
Yeah. It's just Tyler and Caroline are cute this episode though.
Yeah.
They're just two cute people and they have cute little dance scenes and he sweeps her off his feet and I think that's very cute.
That was cute. For a sec, they were cute. I like that.
So Stefan and Elena enter the dance and Elena, as always, kind of has to drag Stefan out onto the dance floor. And he always tries to make some fucking excuses and she's just like, nice try. Come on.
Which I love about them.
It's so fun because we don't often get sarcastic Elena, where she's just like, nice try. You're getting your ass out here. Come on, you're dancing.
They're like an old married couple in that way, you know?
Yeah, where he's just like, I'm not gonna dance, and she's like, okay, and you're gonna dance. So they begin to slow dance and talk about how Stefan should apologize to Bonnie. She tries to talk to Stefan about Denver, but he's like, it doesn't matter. You know, if we find our way back to each other, you can tell him if you want. You can tell me if you want to.
Which is very sweet, but then also, why did you send her on that trip?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was just like, this is a vision quest for you and you only.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, after everything I put you through, I am honored to be your date tonight.
Which, oh my gosh.
Stefan! Here's, I think, my favorite difference between Damon and Stefan. Stefan's self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
Just enough self-aware to be like, I've put you through some shit. It's wild that you're still here for me.
Yeah.
Whereas Damon has put her through some shit, and he's like, but I'm not a good guy. Like, I know.
I think another like subtle difference there is that Stefan's like I feel all these things to you, but it's like it really is up to you, and I'm just honored that you want me here by your side tonight. Versus like
Yeah.
Damon being like, you're mine and I don't care about what you think, and I'm not a good person, so
It's
yeah.
wild. This show really can't decide if it wants to make Damon self-aware or not. We'll
Yeah.
talk about it later. There's a thing where he's like, apparently my choices have been very unpopular recently. Like, yeah, no shit, dude. You've said so. You've said so in not as many words. Just like, come on. Anyway, Damon shows up here and they have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Damon, Stefan, and Elena run out of the room. Jeremy tries to follow, and he runs into Bonnie and Jamie.
Which is still weird.
No matter how many times you insist that they aren't related, it's still weird.
It's weird.
It's so weird.
So weird. Please stop it.
Also, why do they always have... I'm not going to ask that question because I think we all know the answer.
I don't know what you're gonna ask.
I was going to be like, why is Bonnie the only one getting... why is Bonnie the only one getting black love interest?
Okay,
And I was like,
yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't want to ask that question. I think we all know the answer to
We
that
know,
one.
we know why.
We know the answer to
We
that
get
one.
it. I hate
There are
this
so many
show.
questions I could have asked there and been like, I think we all know the answer, and all of them would have made sense once I brought them out of my head. But that one was just
Mhm.
like, why is it always Bonnie?
We know why.
I know why.
This show, yeah. Get
I
some
know.
black people on your writing staff. Maybe. I don't know. Does that sound like a good idea? I think it sounds like a good idea.
I think it sounds like a good idea. Bonnie notices, though, that Jeremy is still wearing his ring, and she's like, well, stop. Don't you know what the fuck happened to Alaric? He's like, when my sister stops hanging out with vampires, I'll take the ring off. When I stop running the risk of getting my neck snapped every 30 minutes, I'll take the ring off.
Yep. Jeremy has also already died without the ring. So I think it makes sense that he doesn't want to take it off.
Yeah. Uncomfortable experience, definitely. So out in the hall, Damon reveals that Alaric hasn't been taking his herbs, and he's like, we need to just, like, fucking kill Alaric. Just, like, fucking kill him. And, wow. Way to just jump. He just pole vaulted to that conclusion. He high jumped his ass up there. Like, we just need to kill Alaric. That's your, like, best friend, dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's weird because I feel like the only person Damon would never go to there with is Elena. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's just weird, dude. Why are you so like frivolous about life? Well, I get why you're a vampire, but
You're a
still.
vampire. He's just wanting to murk Alaric.
But you would also think that like after years, at least like 1 year, full year, being around these humans, you know, he would have like developed by now.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one, Jordan.
Thank you.
I think that's a good funny joke.
Yeah.
He doesn't have development. It's
What's
fine.
development?
Damon doesn't know.
Mm.
So Jeremy storms out after hearing that they're going to kill Alaric, which, as he should, because it's a dumb fucking plan and they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Elena has to kind of talk him down. And Elena's assuring him that nothing's going to happen to Alaric. Esther shows up, telling her to come with her. And she sends Jeremy inside to get Stefan and Damon, and then she goes with Esther. As the boys run outside, they realize that they cannot leave the school because of a circle of salt. No supernaturals can leave.
Here's my whatchamacallit, what's the word I'm looking for? Here's my experience with salt and like witches putting it on the ground for things. It was under my impression that if somebody who isn't supernatural were to, I don't know, step between the salt and let it go, that their spell would break. Is that not true here?
That is not true here.
Oh, interesting.
In the Vampire Diaries universe, it can't be busted once it's like imbued with magic.
Oh.
So she uses it sort of just like a circle. They do this again a few times in the originals as well, where like just busting up the symbols won't exactly do anything. So even if they do bust up the salt, it's not gonna help any.
Oh, interesting. I love how the show continues to take my expectations of things that happened in supernatural settings, and they're like, actually, no, we've come up with our own reasoning behind it over here. Good luck.
And I like their sort of like magic Bible, which is what I kind of call it. Their, the document that Julie Plec has sitting on some fucking Google Drive somewhere, where it's just like, this is how magic works. This is the ins and outs. And I love how they have made that just a little bit different than most other forms of magic. It makes it fun. It keeps it fresh.
It keeps you on your toes, because then you can't really predict a whole bunch of stuff. You just kind of have to watch it and let it happen.
Yeah. And they continually introduce like some new things that don't overlap but do overlap with old things. It's a whole fucking mess. Jamie and Bonnie kiss.
This is the moment I realized you lied to me.
Yeah. I really think it doesn't continue after this. I really think. Let me see.
Look up if he shows up
Bonnie,
anywhere.
TBD. Let's see here.
What episodes is he in?
This is it, actually. This is the last episode.
Thank God. Okay. Thank God. Because I couldn't do it. If this lasted for any moment longer, would have most definitely caused for me to go into a rant. And then also
they're
tweet
done
about
here.
it. Thank you.
Literally, the fucking trivia on...
What's the trivia?
The trivia on this page on the Vampire Diaries wiki, the Holy Bible, as we know. Hey, how far down do you think the point that they are adopted siblings is in the trivia section of this page of the wiki?
Oh,
like, is it 4 points down? Is it 5?
I'd assume it's like maybe 3.
It's actually the first one.
Okay.
So they really want you to remember that they are adopted siblings and that it is weird.
Honestly, good on them. Let's all remember that. And what the writers actually try to make a thing. Let's not forget it.
Also, they really, like, the Vampire Diaries wiki, thank you for fucking kicking this into fucking gear here, because they say it so many times on this wiki page. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They say it 6 times on a wiki page that is maybe 300 words long. It's a very short wiki page, but they say it a lot. So thank you, Vampire Diaries wiki.
Thank you so much for kicking that into gear. for making that a thing, because I think we all need to remember that technically they're not siblings is not an excuse for deciding to write a ship between two people.
Yeah. And I'm just like, this sucks.
Mhm.
Right here,
I liked it
this
better.
sucks.
Can we go back to when Jeremy was the problem?
But
Let's
I
go
wish
back
we
there.
could.
Like, I appreciated that much more than what you've decided to do with Bonnie now. Just saying.
In another great toxic masculinity moment,
Yeah.
Klaus shows up and is using his sire bond with Tyler basically to get a dance with Caroline.
It's
Tyler has to just kind of let it happen because he's still playing along that he is sire
sire.
bonded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This scene. Ugh. Men, stop. Just stop.
And that's all we can say about that scene. That's it. Men stop. Period. Done. Next scene. The humans can leave the school, but supernaturals can't because of this boundary spell. And Bonnie's working on breaking it. And Klaus is like, well, I'll fucking kill everybody that you care about. And Stefan's like, well, wait. Hold up. Bonnie could just leave if she wanted to and just leave us here.
Yep.
So maybe don't threaten to kill everybody that she loves because she's only doing it for those people.
But also, Bonnie, no, not Bonnie. Stefan, standing up for Bonnie and, going back into that role that I missed him in, you know? Because remember,
Yeah.
in season 1, even though, Bonnie didn't necessarily like vampires, she liked Stefan, you know?
Yeah.
And
Also, I think it's fun to see him. He kind of goes back into that, like, Klaus henchman kind of role with the
yeah.
way he kind of, like, slides up, like, hey, boss.
Yeah.
Let's chill.
Yeah.
Let's chill just a little fucking bit.
And
And I think I really like that. I like Stefan in that role of, like,
I agree.
hey. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah. He be like, "You're at 100 right now. Bring it down a little bit, please."
Let's bring it down. Basically, what Esther is trying to do here is make Alaric into another original vampire so that he can kill all the other vampires. And he says that he's doing this because he truly hates all vampires and that the blood of their victims is on his hands.
Which isn't true.
This man goes on to run a school for young vampires.
And I think at this point as well, Jenna is brought up into the discussion.
Yeah, he's like, they killed Jenna. Like, okay, chill, bud.
I'm sad about Jenna too, but you don't see me going on a murderous rampage.
I'm sad too, motherfuckers.
Everyone's sad, and yet they're not going around killing people or killing vampires.
It's just like, God.
Elena also has this really cool line talking to Esther about how she's not as noble, I guess, as she thinks she is, because along with killing the bad vampires, she's killing the good ones. Which I think is an interesting topic. To what lengths are you just because there are a few bad apples, are you supposed to then just kill everyone?
Yes, apparently.
Which,
wow.
The
answer is yes.
Wow. That sounds a little weird and not correct to me.
I mean, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I think it's very interesting because she obviously is a witch, and witches believe that there needs to be a balance within nature. So because there's this huge imbalance, they need to kill them all
Correct
to
it.
get rid of that. And bring back balance. But I don't know, it just like in theory that seems correct. But in practice, it just doesn't feel right that you can just basically commit vampire genocide.
Yeah, it's also weird too because they're like, there will be no other consequences from this after a bunch of people just randomly drop dead.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
internet conspiracy theorists are gonna have a fucking time with that.
Right. They're gonna be like, what the fuck? When
And
you
then
know,
they're gonna look back in history and they're gonna figure it all out.
and I think it's really interesting because
Like, they're gonna figure out witches exist.
but also imagine that happening, because I feel like that could just be a premise on it all on its own, for like a TV show, because there's already something like that, like I don't remember what it's called, but I can't remember the name. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but basically like a good portion of the population just like,
Just died.
yeah, or I think they either died or went missing or something like that. And then they're like,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck happened? Let's figure this out. Like that's definitely what would happen. A whole bunch of people would die just randomly because so many vampires have been turned. And
The Buzzfeed Unsolved of it all would be fucking
yeah,
unbearable, huh?
yeah.
Like, absolutely insane Buzzfeed Unsolved episodes here. Those boys would talk about this till the end of fucking time.
This would be like a phenomenon that would be like passed down, like people trying to explain things that they can't, and just like there'd be deep investigation.
But then, like, somebody's gonna find out about witches then in that case.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I guess
yeah,
the
it's just
witches
like,
don't really
how do
care
you think
though.
there's. Yeah, but also you would because Salem.
Oh yeah, I guess like they're like, are they more willing to sacrifice their own like safety just to keep the nature of balance in place? And also, aren't there also like other? They're werewolves, of course. Yes. So aren't they kind of? Well, do werewolves eventually die?
Yeah, werewolves live like real regular lives.
So I guess that's kind of the exception. It's more on the like they can live forever. That's the problem with vampires. Yeah.
Yeah. They can just like live forever.
Okay. Because I was gonna say like you'll still have werewolves around. I don't know. And werewolves, I feel like, can cause not the same amount of damage as vampires, but like a good amount.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's just like no problems will occur from this, but problems will occur from this.
Yeah.
You've made problems that are gonna happen. And you're just like gonna kill everybody off. And like, I get it. I hate them too.
Yeah.
But like, damn, dude. Damn. Bonnie's trying to do some more magic, but Esther is blocking her.
Right.
And that means that she's using some sort of phone hotspot, basically. I guess.
That's a great way to describe it.
I guess that's what it is. I don't know.
It's so interesting how magic works sometimes.
You're like, this is a phone hotspot. Perfect. This is all we need. And so Jeremy and Matt go out to put an end to that, because sending two boys to face the most powerful witch ever lived is a great plan.
Like, if Bonnie can't like fight off the magic herself from like where they are, and Bonnie's like a really powerful witch already, what makes you think like two boys who have no supernatural powers except for one being able to talk to the dead, that they're gonna be fine facing off against this witch? And the way that they do it too, like, kills me.
I'm sure this will have no consequences.
Like, you guys should have just surprised her and just done it. You know what I mean? Like, that
Spoiler alert, they try and shoot her with just like a regular human gun.
Yeah, they just literally, she comes out of like this cave and they're like, I don't know, they say something like stop or whatever, and then they're just like, you just see them both on the sides of her,
and they're just stopped there, and
they're
you're
just
like
posing, and you're like, why would you guys
okay.
do that? She's a witch. Like, even if you like attempt to shoot her now, she is going to use some type of magic to prevent her from getting shot. Obviously, you should have just, as soon as she came out, shot. You know what I mean?
And it's just like, yeah, no, it's just like, why'd you just stand there posed off like the world's like vampire Ken doll over here? Just like, perfect. This is exactly what'll work. Like, no, it fucking won't, dude.
No. But what do you expect from Tweedledee and Tweedledum?
There are so many Tweedledees and Tweedledum in the Vampire Diaries. We call Stefan and Damon that. We called Damon and Alaric that at some point. We called Jeremy and Matt that. We called, like, everybody is Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
I think it's amazing how it's only been men that we've called that.
Are we surprised? Are we surprised?
The men in the show are stupid. End of sentence. They're dumb.
Yeah.
They make stupid decisions.
They do some shit. And I am always amazed by what shit they do.
You think at one point they're like, okay, this is like the peak of our like stupidity, like this is where it will stop. And
We'll
then
be good now, guys.
And then you watch another episode and you're like, no, they've somehow topped that.
Somehow you keep managing to outdo yourselves, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just shocked. And frankly, but also not shocked. Esther notes that when Alaric wakes up, he'll be his old self for a little bit. And then he's going to go into vampire killing mode. Once he completes the transition into original vampire, he has enough power to complete his task. And then, when the time is right, he'll die. So she just put this motherfucker on like a magical timer, was like, let's go.
Which, like, yikes.
It's like, he's like a fucking lights timer that you put on your house when you're going for vacation.
Yeah.
You're just like, you're gonna turn off at 7 p.m. Like, that's it.
And it's amazing how she doesn't know exactly when he'll kill them all. She just has hope and faith enough that he'll do it within this select amount of time and that nothing will go wrong, and that's fine.
The good thing is that she reveals that Jenna found peace, and that's literally the only thing that matters.
Yeah. I miss you, Jenna.
The only thing that matters.
I miss you so much. I'm so glad that you're doing fine. You're doing okay.
I'm so glad that you're okay, but God, I miss you so fucking much, Jenna. Jenna.
I wish Jeremy would come back. Like, would be like a little medium again for an episode and bring back Jenna for a quick sec.
God, I love Jenna.
I miss her so much. I feel like rewatching some of the good episodes from like season 1.
Oh, just for Jenna?
Yeah. I just want to see her face again.
And she's just so fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just miss her so goddamn much.
Yeah.
Esther comes outside to investigate and gets stuck in this fucking dumbass standoff.
Yeah.
With Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And obviously she wins. Because she's a witch.
She's a witch.
And Matt is pointing at her. Boys. Yeah, Matt's pointing at her with a hunting rifle. Like, what are you gonna do? BB her to death? Like, I don't understand what your plan here was. But she obviously wins that fight. And she stands there in her victory for a moment. But only a moment. Because Alaric comes out and just, like, stabs her in the fucking back.
Yeah.
And, hey, Alaric, this was a good one that you did.
We're proud of you for that one.
I'm proud of you for this one.
Thank you.
Because, like, yeah, stab her in the fucking back.
She deserves it.
Get it, dude.
She's done it to literally almost every character on that show. So it feels right.
Yeah, it feels right. Feels natural.
Mm-hmm.
Feels good. The boundary spell is broken.
Right.
At the school. So all the vampires yeet their way out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Back at the graveyard, Alaric says that he is not going to complete the transition and he won't become a vampire.
Which is good, because if he did, he would just start killing everyone.
Yeah, he would become a terrible vampire killer.
Right. But also, it's sad.
And Jeremy is like, I don't want to hear your bullshit for this. But Alaric still hugs him anyway and leaves because Jeremy's just a sad kid who's losing yet another parent.
I cannot believe they're yet again losing another parental figure. Just like he thought they'd be fine because he has a ring. And then no, it turns out the ring was the enemy all along.
I'm so sad for Jeremy.
Me too.
And Elena. But just like, ugh.
Also, I love how they pulled a switcheroo on me. Cause I saw Meredith, I cannot speak. I saw Meredith show up, and I was like, "Oh, she must be the one who's dying this episode. Cause why else she would be here?" And it turns out
it's Alaric.
It's Alaric, and she's here to give him a send off.
And Alaric talks to Elaine a little bit. He says that taking care of her and Jeremy was the closest he's ever gotten to the life he's always wanted. He just wants to be a dad.
I mean, technically in the beginning he did not want to be a dad. But I think also, he eventually moseyed up to it.
Yeah, and they head outside, they hug, and outside, just staring onto him to bid one final farewell.
They're having a candlelight vigil!
Is the entire Mystic Falls gang. And I gotta say, y'all, when I am on my deathbed, cart me out to the fucking forest and I want everybody to stare at me and cry a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want none of that, like, talking, making final amends. Now, fuck that. Stare at me in a forest.
Yeah.
And then I'll die.
It was... I think because of the way that Jenna died, you know, where it was just all so sudden and it just happened. I don't know. This kind of felt like, I guess, kind of like the opposite of that. We're like, because at a certain point near the end of the episode, I was like, oh, I see this coming. They're gonna either have to kill him or he's gonna die, you know? Like, that's where it's coming to. So, like, him going outside of that graveyard and seeing them all there, it kind of made me tear up a little bit. Because I was like, wow, we're really here. And they're just, like, here to, like, kind of, like, send him off and be like, I don't know, like, kind of like a thank you, but also goodbye. It's really sad.
It's just, this scene should be so fucking corny, right?
Yeah.
All of your friends are staring at you in a graveyard before you die.
Right.
It should be the ultimate corny bullshit.
Yeah.
But it made me cry.
Yeah.
Like, it made me tear up.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking mad at this show because this should be stupid. This is so dumb. They're all just staring at him silently. And you're like,
and
why?
You're like, why are these tears falling from my eyes? And
why am I crying? This is corny as fuck.
But they just do it so, like, well, where it doesn't feel cheesy or corny. It just feels like, oh, this was supposed to happen, and oh, I'm sad now. Like, this hurts. Like, I think it's a combination of seeing all those characters that Alaric has, like, interact with and touched or whatever, them having candlelights all around him to send him off, and then just, like, the close-up of their faces being sad. And that, it hurts. It just hurts. Like, when the Vampire Diaries want to give you something sad, they're like, here you go, fucking cry now. Now it's time to cry.
This is a show about vampires.
Yeah.
And I'm sad I'm just so sad.
But also, I feel like this also makes me sad in a way of, like, look how well this is done, and then look at, like, the entirety of TBD and, like, how many really good, like, episodes or, like, send-offs they have compared to, like, the
They
episodes
know
like
how
this.
to do a send off.
Yeah,
They know how to do a death scene real well.
yeah. Look at how well that's written, and then you have an episode, like, last week.
Yeah, this is a wild roller coaster we've been on, huh?
Yeah. It's like, can you guys just not deliver this type of, like, human emotion every week, please?
Really, TVD takes us on, I think, just a roller coaster where we are experience every single human emotion
Yeah.
in like under 2 hours. It
Yeah.
is wild. So let's finish out this episode because we're close and we have some more things to cry about.
Yeah.
Back at Michelson Manor, Klaus undaggers Rebekah. So happy for her. Did he
Yay.
realize that he did not realize that she was daggered because he thought that she was meeting her at the dance.
Right.
Him at the dance.
Right.
Right. And he goes to talk at Esther. And he says, and he does such a good monologue to a dead body. It is so fucking good.
Mhm.
He says that her plan failed and that he lives and will continue to go on living. And he dares her to come after him once again. He says that he will build an army like none other to fight her.
Oh my gosh.
His survival will taunt her, and she will never destroy him.
You ever think about how she's literally not gonna find peace on the other side?
You ever think about how fucking good of a villain Klaus Michelson is?
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, dude. He delivered a good-ass monologue
To his mother.
as in a coffin. He's like craned over this. Like, Joseph Morgan, you're so fucking good. And this should also be corny because this whole episode should be so corny as hell, right?
Mhm.
This whole episode should be so corny. He's talking to his dead mom. I should laugh at him like I laugh at that kid in Bates Motel. I should be laughing at him, but I am not. Like,
Because they do it so well. Oh my gosh. Like,
Joseph Morgan, you're incredible.
I think another thing that really, like, makes this show so good sometimes is that when they've got, like, the script just right, where it's, like, kind of cheesy, but not really, and not, like, enough to make you cringe, and then they have the right actor deliver that, it will
Yeah.
it will do something to you. And, like, I think that's the thing about The Vampire Diaries is that despite, like, all of its faults, sometimes there's just, like, a really good moment in there, you know? With, like, especially, like, I feel like they have, like, great cast. For acting wise, a great cast. So, like, when they have to, like when they have to deliver a scene, they do it right, and it feels good.
It's just wild.
Mhm.
It's the individual performances.
They're so good.
Wow. So we go to Bonnie's house, and Jamie is walking Bonnie inside, and they have a little comforting moment. It's still weird.
It's so
No matter
weird.
how many times you say they're not related, still weird.
Also, Bonnie's dad is mentioned in this scene. Does Bonnie have a dad?
Yeah, Bonnie has a dad. Bonnie lives with her dad.
Why did I not know that? Why did I think she was, like
Where did you think she went after Grams died?
I don't know. I don't know where she
There
went.
was a whole thing at the beginning of the season where she was visiting her dad's family, and that's why she was gone.
Oh, I forgot about that. Listen, Bonnie's family, that's another pitfall of this show. Bonnie's family, other than Graham's, is barely explored so far. Like, I know who Caroline's mom and dad are. I know who Elena's parents or parental figures are. What do I know about Bonnie? Barely anything. Except she comes from, like, this long line of powerful witches. And the one person we probably would have maybe got more information from left. Just like straight up left. Like, I don't know. That annoys me a little bit. Because how was I supposed to remember that she had a father? That she was living with her father?
Because that's the only thing that she would have.
But like what I'm saying is like that's not like right in front of my brain for that to make sense. You know what I mean? Like they mention it so little times that what do you expect from me? That I'm not
They
supposed to be
mention it
surprised?
very frequently.
Well, maybe I just blocked it out. Okay, I need. This is
I'm
what I
not
need.
surprised.
I just need a physical representation of her father for me to believe that she has a dad. You can't just keep saying it.
His name is Rudy Hopkins. We meet him later.
Okay.
Let me show you a picture of him.
Okay.
Jamie stays the night with Bonnie, and it is still weird.
Yeah.
It's still weird. This
So
will
weird.
never not be weird. I'm so glad we're dropping it after this episode because it's so fucking weird.
Please don't ever do they do something like this ever again?
I don't think so.
Okay.
In the Mystic Grill, Matt and Jeremy take some shots in honor of Alaric, and Jeremy begins to cry because yet another person, yet another parent has died.
It's a sad scene, but also I think it's in my head, it's like reconciling the fact that this is a sad scene, but also what are two teenagers doing in a bar late at night?
Because Matt has the keys, I guess.
I guess. I just think that's funny. They're like I feel
and they're
like
both wearing suits. It's so fucking funny.
They just look like adults having like a drink, and they're not.
So in Mystic Falls High, Elena is trying to stave off her breakdown by cleaning out Alaric's weapon, worrying that after he's gone, someone's going to find him. And Stefan she just like breaks down in Stefan's arm, and I'm so sad for her.
This scene, oh my gosh, this scene.
Acting.
The acting was so good. Nina, this scene.
We're talking to you. Nina,
oh my god.
This
scene. Like, you could see the wavering in her face. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so good. What? Like, I'm crying. Like, you just made me cry.
Again. I stopped crying for a little bit because of the weirdness of Jamie and Bonnie, and now
I'm crying again.
I'm crying again.
Like it was the dialogue, it was the acting, and then plus like the background music. Like in the background music, you could hear like the kick of the drum, like thumping, like it was a heartbeat, and I was just like, what in the world is going on?
I'm just so sad.
Like my emotions. You know that meme actually comes from Community, but you know the meme? It's like my emotions. Yeah. That's how I felt.
Just so sad.
So sad. But also so good. Like, probably one of my favorite scenes from this season.
It's such a fucking good scene.
Mm-hmm.
Just Nina's acting in this
so
scene.
good.
Nina, I want to talk because holy shit, dude.
What the fuck? Like,
what the fuck?
Like, I literally wrote, Nina, you're acting, what the fuck?
Nina, you're acting, what the fuck? It's so good.
So good.
It's so good. Stefan and Elena have a moment in the gym where Stefan recounts about the night he turned off his humanity and how after he bit her, he never wanted to feel anything again. But someone kept reminding him that it was okay to feel, no matter how much it hurt. And Elena's crying because, thinking that she has no one anymore. But Stefan assures her she will always have him.
Oh my gosh! The line is a cliche line. Yes, I know that. But still. I want to be in love. I want someone to always be there for me. What the fuck? It's cheesy, but it's so good.
I don't care that it's cheesy.
I don't
this
care.
whole fucking episode is cheesy as fuck, and yet
it's so good.
I'm still crying, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Like, I kid you not, when he said, "You have me," I screamed a little bit. I, like, did a little scream.
It's just God. God, it's so good. This whole episode should be so fucking corny, but it's
It's
not.
not. It's so good.
I think that's both my favorite and least favorite thing about TVD.
Mhm.
Is that it should be corny, but it's not.
Mm-mm. They, like, pull it off so well. And, like, let me tell you, I love a good show that's, like, kind of, like, cheesy and just, like, I
I
can
love a good corny motherfucker.
yeah, I will sit down and watch one and just be like, "Yes, I'm at peace. I am at content." You know? So, like, I don't think that's, like, necessarily, like, a downfall of the Vampire Diaries, because yes, sometimes I can predict things that are gonna happen because, they're obvious. To anyone who watches, like, a lot of TV, some things are very obvious to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, like but I think they just like, there are 2 ways that you can handle cheesiness. You can either, like, really play into it and then just make the entire thing cheesy in and of itself, but, like, in a good way, or you can, like, kinda be like, "Okay, yes, this is cheesy, but I'm gonna elevate it a little higher so that you cry," and that's what DVD did.
It's cheesy, but we're gonna be so fucking earnest when we do it that you're gonna cry.
Right, exactly. And what the heck?
The end of this episode
Mhm,
is wild. So Meredith walks out of the grave, out of the sort of tomb, telling Damon that she gave Alaric a sedative so that he can go peacefully. They say that she says that like he'll fall asleep first,
mhm,
and Damon is like, I would go inside and go with him, but I'll just keep vigil out here. And she's like, really? Is that what you're really gonna do for your best friend? And Damon's like, well, apparently my choices have been a little controversial lately. This show can't decide if it wants Damon to be self aware or not.
mhm.
Because sometimes he'll be like, I've made bad choices. And other times he'll do this. I'm like, okay, do you know what you're doing? I don't think you do. And Damon walks inside and sits with Alaric as they share one final bottle of bourbon together. And after some time, Alaric takes his final breath, and Damon finishes the bottle of bourbon, leaving it behind. I'm sad.
Mhm.
I
Same.
can't believe Ian actually made me sad with this.
Well, he didn't really have a lot of talking to do.
Yeah, he just kind of sat there and was like, I'm going to be your friend as you die.
Yeah, so that was good.
Bonnie has some weird dreams about Esther, standing over her bed, telling her that she needs to finish what Esther started. And also, did Bonnie just like fall asleep in her whole ass like flapper outfit?
Mhm. Yep.
Like the necklace and all?
Mhm.
I hate that.
I could understand that if Bonnie was, like, in a lot of distress and being like, "Oh, I'm, like, now exhausted. I've been crying a lot. Let me just lay down here and fall asleep." Bonnie was not under that much distress enough to, like, fall asleep in that flapper dress, well, the necklace and everything, you know?
But Bonnie even has like the head, like her headband on and everything. It's just a wild amount of jewelry. And I'm like, why did you keep her in that? And then it cuts back to the graveyard
Mhm.
where Damon is exiting the tomb and Bonnie is walking towards it like in a dream.
Mhm.
Bonnie knocks Damon out and walks inside of the tomb. She stabs herself in the hand and feeds her blood to Alaric, and Alaric begins to drink. In a moment, he stands up, having completed the transition, and becoming the ultimate hunter. Holy shit.
I mean, I saw it coming.
I saw it coming, but I'm still like, no, he had a good death.
Yeah.
He was fine.
He's gonna be fine. He's just gonna die and sleep. And now they're just gonna. It really hurts more when you think about the fact that they said goodbye to him, and now they're gonna have to actively try to kill him.
Uh-huh.
Just like,
Yeah.
wow, that really hurts. Wow, why would you do that to me? Like, I saw it coming, but why would you do that to me after I've already cried?
Yeah. It's just I'm so fucking sad.
Yeah,
But that's this episode.
that's
And
it.
Alaric is now the ultimate hunter. So hey Jordan,
Yes,
what are you ranking episode 320, Do Not Go Gentle?
I enjoyed this episode so much.
Same.
It was a good dance episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I critiquing it on? Nothing.
What are we critiquing it on? I don't know. It's up to you to decide.
I don't think there's anything that stuck out to me that I really didn't enjoy. Like the goodbye scenes and like the scenes after Alaric has quote unquote died was very good. I guess the only thing I would really critique is the body switching thing because that only lasted for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was weird, but
But it's like not a big like flaw, you know?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, also the alpha male stuff really stuck badly with me. Forgot about that.
Did it almost feel like out of character to you too?
Yeah, it felt like why is this here?
Yeah.
Like this feels forced. Um but in all honestly, that was such a little part of the episode. I literally just remembered it, but it's not like so bad that it brings the episode down. It's more just like, oh, this scene wasn't great. Um Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I like the Selena scenes, especially. They made me want to be in love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the whole idea of having like that steak that never like not dies, but never burns.
Yeah.
Such a cool concept. Love the way that it looks. I think I'm giving this a 10.
You're giving this a 10.
Like
Okay.
probably one of my favorite episodes.
You know what? That's fair because I am also going to give it a 10.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this episode. And I feel like Brian is also going to give it a 10.
Just because of the Selena scene.
Yeah.
But it was such a good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed. I had a good time watching this, and that, like, I also experienced so many emotions. You know,
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
heartbreak, sadness, love.
Yeah.
It was good.
Just like, yeah, man. Yeah.
So good.
Who's the MVP for this episode?
This is a hard one.
This is a really hard one.
Oh, this is one where Brian would have been great to have because I feel like there's gonna be a problem. We need some more input. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would bring up Alaric probably. Could be an MVP.
Okay, I'm with you there.
So could Elena.
Okay, also with you there.
I'm trying
So
to see
could
if anybody
Stefan.
else. So could Stefan, yes. And I would say those are the big three.
Those are the big three, yeah. I don't know. For me, it's between Alaric and Elena.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. Because Alaric, because of the whole like sending off.
Oh wait, we also haven't said it yet. Fuck Matt Davis.
Oh right, fuck Matt Davis.
We're real sweet on Alaric right now. Great character, great storyline. Fuck Matt Davis.
Fuck Matt Davis.
Sorry, continue.
Alaric just because like of the whole kind of sending off. But I also feel like potentially he could get it next episode because of the ultimate hunter stuff.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards giving it to Elena.
Same. Because of the Nina's acting this episode was so good. She had
Just so good.
She like had so many subtle moments where I was like, I can really feel like this feels like
We
a
gotta
real
give it to
person.
Elena.
This like
We
feels like a
gotta.
real person. Yeah, no, I think we should give it to Elena.
We have to.
Yeah.
Fun fact, this is the 1, 2, 3. This is Elena's 5th MVP for
Damn.
this season.
Damn, Elena.
Damn, Elena.
Nina's just really bringing it.
Nina really does, though. Oh my god, I love her.
She's so good. And like, sure, I don't always love the things Elena does, you know, as a character. But like, Nina's just such a good actress that I don't care, you know?
Yeah.
Like I get why people like Elena, you know? Like, I
Yeah.
get why people don't like her, but I also get why people like her. I get it.
Yeah. Overall, I think by the end of the series, you'll fall one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on what like season that person has most recently watched, definitely indicates like if they like Elena or not.
Yeah, because I think I really like Elena this season.
Yeah, Elena's had a good run here. That's it for this week on Afterbite, y'all. Stay in touch with us on Twitter at AfterBitePod. You can leave us voice messages, as always, on anchor.fm/Afterbite. We are, like we said, after this season, after season 3 wraps up, which will be next week. Good God, that's so fucking soon.
Yeah.
Once the season wraps up, we're going to be taking a little break here because I need to sleep and think about something other than the Vampire Diaries for a while.
Yeah, same.
So bad. I need to wipe my entire brain. You have no idea how much I just need to like windshield wiper this shit out.
Yeah, this takes a lot of energy for me for the week, I will say.
Yeah. And then I have to fucking edit it. Like, fuck this.
Yeah.
But that is all for this week, y'all. Until next time, next week we will be watching episode 321, Before Sunset, and then also 322, The Departed.
And then also the little thing. Are we doing the little thing we do at the end of the episode where we rank all the episodes? I mean, end of the season where we rank all the seasons?
We will also do that.
Can't think.
Yeah, we will do that. I don't know when, but we will do that because I want to make Brian fight himself, basically.
This is gonna be hard. This season's gonna be so hard. Like I will say, like the beginning was so rough, so like those are gonna obviously be at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many. We've given out so many 10s.
Yeah, I so rarely have given something under like an 8 this season.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah.
Anyway, then, until y'all, stay inside, stay safe, and wash your fucking hands.
And then 2 things. The USPS, make sure you are calling your senator about that. You can even email them about it. And then the thing number 2 is defund the police. As a first step to abolishing the police, you can call and email your senators about that as well.
Really just become a pain in the ass to everybody.
Yeah. Just everybody. Just get on their nerves. Get on their fucking nerves.